Whew. Let's do it. Welcome back to Trails in the Sky 3. I'm the TheDarkSeraph. Last time we had fought our way through the glorious, or an inverted phantom of it. Now we're in the farewell area, as we must face off against the Schwarzenritter himself. Where are we? Looks like our friends prepared an arena for us to have our final battle. I healed and saved before this, so... let's do it. Welcome, orphan of a lost village. Greetings also to you who seek atonement for his past transgressions. A stigma forever at his back. The Schwarzenritter. Sorry for the wait. Congratulations on moving your pieces this far across the game board. Should you defeat me, the final guardian, the end of this plane will finally be in your sight. Of course, that is a very big if. Can I ask you one thing before we begin? Oh? Why? Why do you wear that mask and hide your face from me? What a foolish question. Because that is the will of my lord. What other reason could there possibly be? The real one. The reason for being here is that the Lord of Phantasma wanted you to be. I don't doubt that. But you hiding your face from us isn't their will at all. Enough with your lies. Joshua. What does he mean? You all knew, huh? Sorry. My own inability to face reality has made things hard for everyone. Don't try and shoulder all the blame for yourself on this. I think we all had our doubts. I know I did. Kevin's right. You seem to think you've worked something out, but I haven't the faintest idea as to what. If you're so sure you're right, why not go ahead and say it? That is, if you truly feel you've honestly have the resolve to do so. I won't. What? Why state the obvious when I see for myself after cracking that mask to bits anyway? What matters most right now is that if I can't defeat you, there is no future for any of us. So right now, I'm just going to leave you who you are. Not because I'm afraid to face up to the truth, or because I don't want to see the face of it. But because I must and will defeat you and overcome the trial before me. You're a hell of a stand-up guy. I am so proud of you. Hell yeah, I'm in. I too intend to fight, so that we may see tomorrow. I think that was all it took to get your fighting spirit back. Very well then. Do what you will. Defeat me and break my mask. Bringing in the... There's no doubt in my mind who lies behind that mask any longer. A black dragon. Here we go. My name is Schwarzenritter, Rider of the Black Dragon and Guardian of the Abyss. In accordance to the pact with my Lord of Phantasma, I shall act as your next trial. Let the battle begin. There is no doubt in my mind who this is. That is none other than Loewe, Leonhardt, the Blade Lord. A swordsman with a strange mask, also casts powerful arts.
No way! God, come on!
Spread thy and burn below! Five demons!
I'll have her handle the dragon. Oh, he's got a hell of a lot of health.
Go! Sparrow!
Arise, Phantom.
Yep, that's Luve. No doubt about it. No doubt about it now.
Go! Sparrow! We're good to go!
Arise, Phantom. Spread thy
That's Luve. That's his body split craft. I want that archaism down.
May 1,000 thorns adorn your flesh with despair. May you be as garbage, ignorant and alone. Strike! Unholy spears of time!
There goes the archaism. Oh!
Have mercy.
Ah! Damn it. I've really got to think about this.
Wanna see what I got?
Okay, he's getting desperate.
Let's end this!
Well done.
We're good to go.
Supreme Heartbreak. Another emblem. Ha! It's Luve after all. Congratulations. You did as you said you would. You broke my mask. We were right then. It really is you. I had my suspicions. I never thought I'd be so lucky to see you again. Not that I can imagine this reunion has much meaning for you at this point. You have no idea. I was scared. Might have been given a chance to meet you again, but I knew from the start it was going to be short-lived. I knew I'd have to go through the pain of losing you a second time, so I tried to pretend I had no idea who you were to avoid it. That's why you ended up with that mask. It was my own weakness and inability to face up to the truth. Precisely. I was summoned within this world to act as the final, strongest guardian. That much you already know. It was the Lord of Phantasma who called me. But they weren't the one who decided I should wear this thing. That was likely all of you. This world changes as a result of one's thoughts and desires. It's not at all impossible for that to be the case. I thought so. Now, thanks to your efforts, my job is finally done. To tell you the truth, without dragging you on to support ye, I didn't actually expect you to win. I barely did, with everyone here by my side. Well, working with others to achieve a goal isn't a sign of weakness. You've become a lot stronger too, Miss Bright. I am impressed. You've still got some way to go before you can equal your father, though. No doubt about it. I won't get there by rushing. Gotta take it one step at a time. And as long as I have Joshua, I'm sure I'll get there. I hope you will. Let me take this chance to thank all of you for what you've done for Ren. I have to admit, I was concerned about how she'd fare without me, but I say I had no reason to worry. I can't imagine achieving what you want to be will be an easy task, but I believe that the two of you can do it, if you put your minds to it. We won't let you down. So, Kevin Graham, can you finally complete your confidence in your theory? Yeah. Every last shred of doubt in my mind is gone. I'll make sure everyone you care about gets home, safe and sound. You can count on me, Luve. In that case, count on you, I shall. I think this goes without saying, the Lord of Phantasma is no ordinary foe. This won't be easy, but don't mistake what you need to do. I'll take your warning to heart. Wait, what are you talking about? And I still haven't had a chance to ask you. My apologies, Miss Argent. I know what you want to ask, but the rules I am bound to forbid me from answering. You'll have your answer soon enough. You can rest assured of that. What? I guess this is it? I'm afraid so. I can finally return to where I belong. I delivered your sword to Karen, by the way. Thank you. Don't worry about us. We'll be resting in peace together. Well, Joshua. Yeah. Goodbye, Luve. You saw Karen for a moment. And that barrier is down. Joshua? I'm fine. This was always how it was going to end. Besides, the last time I lost him, all I did was act like a child who couldn't let go. This time, I was actually able to properly say goodbye. I'm glad. If you feel better now, that's all that matters. Well, I've done what I've needed now. I'll leave everything to you, Kevin. No problem. Now that we've defeated the final Guardian, that path along the scenic route should be open. Let's head on over. Well, that was a hell of a fight. It's not just gonna let me fast travel out of this. Why would it? I could probably fast travel when I get back to the Glorious. Hey, where did the circle go? And there's another door. Let's take a look at it. All is one, and one is all. All begins with one, and in the end it returns to one. Only when you have released all the other doors shall this one open. I'm tempted to go back and get Ren, but no. Missed. Let's do it. And now we're at... I don't know where we are. It's an abbey. Kevin. He has to face his own past. Welcome to Astor House. The place Reese and Rufina and I grew up together. Well. The Distant Flames, Chapter 7. This is only a copy of Astor House, yes? But it looks so... Yeah, I can barely bring myself to accept that it's only a copy. Everything from the feel of the earth underfoot to the smells in the air are just like the real thing. Yeah. So this is where the two of you grew up. It's actually quite nice. I'm guessing this is somewhere owned by the church? That's right. It's what's called a gospel facility. Think of them as a cross between an orphanage and a monastery. So, like an abbey. I see. Does that mean... Well, no reason to dance around it, so yep, I am an orphan. And how I came to be here is a story best saved for another day. Feels weird coming back here again. It's been about 5 years. 5 very long years. Well, anyway... We're bound to find some kind of clue as to how we get to the 7th plane here. You guys up for having a look around with me? Let's go. Oh, Lord. I got the dog going. What's this room? It's a dining hall. This is the living room where we used to have all our meals together. Just don't make the mistake of thinking it was a warm place like Narcia Orphanage. The matron here was a stubborn old sister who was strict as could be. Every mealtime we had to pray so much that our stomachs had given up on getting fed by the end of it, and we got yelled at for the tiniest thing. That sounds harsh. That does sound like what you expect from a church-run orphanage, though. You deserved it all, in my own opinion. You never did as you were told and caused her nothing but grief. Okay, I'll admit that's probably accurate, but still, it was mean. So Kevin was a troublemaker. As you can probably guess, this here's the kitchen. This is where the older children at the facility did the cooking. It was also Reese's favorite place to sneak into whenever she had a hankering for some food. Kevin! She did, huh? Well, that makes sense knowing you. There's a sight I can hardly imagine. Please don't take everything he says at face value. Ah, she's blushing. Anyway, this was Rufina's turf back when she was still here. She was always out here around mealtime making food for me, Reese, and the other children. After she left, Reese and I took over her position. That brings back memories. Of course, then you left too, leaving me to handle it alone. The mere thought aggravates me. In fact, I think you should whip up something right now to make up for your selfishness. Yes, ma'am. I'll make you something. Later. The only thing less reliable than a promise with later attached to it at the end is one said by you. Do I have any more meals in my inventory? Yeah, crab special. But no one needs any healing right now, so no point in using that. I was just curious. These are the bedrooms. This was the matron's room, but no one's here now. Yeah. By the way, Reese, how is the matron these days? She's fine. Her injuries weren't lasting. She hasn't had the energy she used to ever since retiring, unfortunately. She really wanted to see you again. She did. Oh yeah, in one of the flashbacks, Jaegers were at this location. Huh. Stop. We're not hearing that story here. Now I'm really curious. That's an embarrassing story for him. And this was probably the girls' bedroom. Yep. This is the boys' bedroom, where I slept until I was about 10 years old. Technically, the boys and girls weren't supposed to enter one another's bedrooms. That never stopped Reese from doing it at all all the time, though. What he neglects to mention is that it was his fault I did so. What else was I supposed to do when he slept in every morning? He was on cleaning duty. Well, you could have just knocked on the door till I got up. But then I'd disturb the other boys who were sleeping, which would have been unfair. They weren't the ones shirking their duties. It was 100% your fault. Fine, fine, whatever you say. And this is the chapel itself. Figures. It's locked? Yeah. Whatever, we can keep poking around. There is a side entrance. It's also locked. But it's locked. It's forcing the two of them to face their past. Okay. There was no sign of anything in there. Our last hope would be the chapel. Kevin, you don't think... That's when I was told. Then I went to visit the matron afterward. Were you? Yeah, I was. I thought so. Check your pockets, Reese. Okay, I just... Can't be. Now I see now. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, so... I literally just had to fucking leave through the main door. There'll be no going back. We're going to find out the truth of what happened that day. And you won't like it. Are you sure you're ready for that? No, actually. I would prefer if you come in with me. This is relevant to you guys, too, in a sense. I'm gonna cry, aren't I? It all started 5 years ago. A Jaeger Corps someone hired took this place over out of nowhere. Do you remember much of that day, Reese? Shh, pretty bird. Shh. I know that it's cold, but shh. Just so I know. Alright. I just remember a group of men in black forcing their way through the gate and charging in here. They tied everyone up, took the matron up to the second floor. And then, next thing you knew, you were in a bed in the hospital in town. After which you found out that Rufina and I had come to the rescue. And that she had died in the process. Is that about right? What happened, Kevin? All I've heard is that it took the work of someone who opposed the church. But I haven't had the chance to meet you since then, much less ask about it. I tried asking Instructor Cellnates, but she wouldn't say a word. That doesn't surprise me. The Grelzen Ritter commander can't admit this orphanage was being used as a smokescreen for an artifact that needed sealing away. What? Here we go. Passageway. Wait! If there was an artifact here, you don't mean... Yeah. Below here is a primal ground used to seal artifacts away, just like the one under Gransel Cathedral. So, they hid an artifact here. I'm sure you remember the day it all happened. Rufina and I were due to come back here on the first day for the first time in a while. We are both coming from different places. We've been sent. So we wanted to meet up in town and come the rest of the way here together. But then her train was delayed, leaving me in town to wait for her. That's when I got word of what happened. All I could think was that you and the other kids were in danger, so I decided to try and take out the Jaegers alone. They weren't all that experienced, so fighting them wasn't even hard for a squire. Before long, I was able to disable them all and free the matron and the other kids. Or so I thought. You were nowhere to be seen. I asked the other kids where you were. They told me one of the Jaegers had taken you somewhere else and that you were unconscious. I looked frantically all over trying to find you before eventually stumbling across this place. Remember how you didn't have your hair ribbon in your hair when you woke up? I do. What does that have to do with anything? I found that ribbon in front of the passage. we've just gone through. And there were new footprints near it. Made it easy to find the entrance. Anyway, after getting in here, I made my way down this staircase in pursuit of the Jaegers that had taken you. Reese, do you remember what I was like back when you first met me? Yeah. I was still young at the time, but it's as fresh as it were only yesterday. You looked like you had been swallowed by a blackness. Like there wasn't a single shred of hope bound to you. It was scary. I kept wondering what must have happened to you. What you must have seen to make you end up that way. What must have happened to me, huh? Rufina seemed like she knew. Before I met you, I killed my mother. Maybe killed isn't the right expression. It's not like I directly did it. I still let her die, though. I've still got a responsibility for what happened. Growing up, it was basically me and my mom for the most part. My father showed his face from time to time, but not that much. From what I understand, he had another family elsewhere. But even without him, she did her best to look after me on her own. I loved her dearly. Kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me for how I talked, which I got from her. But I just beat them up most of the time. She was always kind. She loved cooking, and yeah, I thought the world of her. When I was 7, my father, who had all the money in the world, chose to abandon her. At the best of times, she was always a frail person, and after that, she grew more and more despondent. Her health suffered. I tried everything a kid could do to cheer her up, but nothing I did worked. And during one of the winter's day, when she must have finally had enough, she came over while I was sleeping and tried to strangle me. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I failed you as a mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. At least this way, the two of us can... I guess she figured that if we were both going to suffer, we might as well take the easy way out as a family. But I wouldn't let her take me with her. Before I knew what I was doing, I pushed her aside and ran barefoot out into the snow. I wandered around for a while after that. I couldn't understand what had happened or what she'd been trying to do. Eventually, I could feel myself getting hungry. I thought that maybe she'd been able to clear my head. I made my way back home, nervous as could be, and... she killed herself. Sorry for making you listen to all this. Still, I think it's probably when it happened. When my stigma was carved inside me. What? I'm sorry, I'm still trying to process that his mother tried to fucking kill him. Still trying to process that. Where are we? Who would have thought a place like this existed under an orphanage? This is where I finally caught up to that Jaeger who had you with him. He probably didn't think anyone was going to come after him. The second he saw me, he panicked, and putting his gun down, he ran over to this pedestal right in front of us. On it was an artifact that required sealing away. I mentioned it earlier, the Spear of Loa. What is the Spear of Loa? A magnificent spear that transforms the body of its wielder into that of a monster. It's hard to believe something like that could be a gift from the goddess. In any case, the cornered Jaeger grabbed it and used it. I didn't stand a chance. Much as I tried, I wasn't a match for the inhuman monster before me. He knocked me to the ground, and went to raise the spear against the still unconscious you. That's all it took. A stigma of death. Killed him. My stigma drew all the spear's power into it from itself, and blasted it, magnified countless times over into the Jaeger's body. The result wasn't even a battle. Our precious home became a slaughterhouse. By the end, he wasn't even recognizable. Just thousands of lumps of flesh strewn all over the floor. After defeating him, my stigma's power was still coursing through my body. I never experienced anything like that. I lost complete control of myself. At this point, Rufina arrived, and she seemed to understand exactly what had happened. Using her blowgun and a Templar sword, she was able to separate me from you and prevent me from doing you any harm. And then... Okay, we just went from his mother trying to fucking kill him to him fucking killing Rufina. Okay, I need to process this. When I returned to my senses, I was in her arms, dumbfounded. Her body was full of holes all over, but she hugged me as tightly as she could. That's when she drew her last breath. There it is. The truth you wanted. It wasn't that I couldn't save her. I was the one who killed her. With my own hands. Right in front of you. But you didn't. I didn't want to. Maybe not. But it's just an excuse. If I had been able to control my stigma's power instead of letting it consume me and fill me with bloodlust, it wouldn't have happened. If I wasn't so weak, she would still be alive today. It's not all either. Looking at her standing before me at that moment, she reminded me of my mother. She reminded me of Mom when she came to strangle me. Suddenly, the feeling of betrayal welled up inside me, this desire for revenge. So I filled her full of spears. I loved them both. I wanted to protect them both. And what did I do? I killed them both. Me. Why? Why did I what? Why didn't you tell me this before? 5 years apart, and this is the first time you're telling me this. I'm sorry. I know I should have done it earlier. But now I have. And I'm ready for the consequences. So go on. If you want to avenge her, do it. If anything, it would make me happy if you did. You're so stupid. What are you... You think I want to avenge her? That's not why I'm angry at all. Why have you shouldered a burden like that? A burden so great all this time on your own. We're family, Kevin. Why didn't you ever talk to me? Why didn't you even let me hug you? Why didn't you let me do anything to help you? Reese. I finally understand. I always thought you were hunting down heretics as some kind of atonement for letting Rufina die. But that's not at all, is it? Come on, Reese. I finally understand. You don't want to atone for anything. You don't want to get rid of your sense of guilt at all. You... That's right. He wants to be punished for what he did. Oh. Lord of the Phantasma. Why now, of all times? You have my congratulations of making it this far. Beyond here lies the 7th plane. The place of my birth, and the foundation of all the planes hereafter. I thought so. And judging by how we have to go through here to get there, I was right, wasn't I? Right about what? Allow me to ask you once again, Kevin Graham. Do you really want to see the face underneath this mask? You're damn right I do. It's time to take that creepy mask off and show us who you really are. Rufina Argent. With pleasure. Rufina? I've missed you dearly, Reese. And as for you, Kevin, I'm impressed you were able to work out my real identity. It wasn't hard. I had a feeling from the start. The answer was right in front of my face the whole time. And your every taunt should have made me that much more sure. The only reason I couldn't be until now was because I didn't want to accept it. Quite. You always were a weakling. You can imagine how surprised I was when you were able to defeat my strongest knight. You're talking about the Blade Lord. What connection does he have to you? I met him through my work, about 6 years ago. We were enemies at the time, but we managed to reach a compromise. And he felt he owed me a debt. Alright. So you ended up summoning him in order to have him repay it. It's a crafty move, but that's not so out of character for you. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Still, now you've made it this far, I assume you understand what I'm trying to do. And I'm ready. Take me away. Wait, what are you two talking about? I would have thought you worked the answer to that out already, Reese. Do you recall what I said before? Kevin wants to be punished. Then I was born here in order to give him the punishment he strives for with his every breath. It was to that end that I recreated Phantasma into its current form and welcomed all of you here. All of this was a result of Kevin's desires. He wanted this to happen. You're lying. I'm sorry, but she isn't. I couldn't tell you why it all happened. But what she says is true. No. The 7th plane is likely somewhere made for the express purpose of punishing me over and over and over again. A fitting hell for someone who let his own mother die and killed Rufina to suffer and rot. Once I'm dropped down there, this will all be over. Wait a second. Why should you have to do all that? You can't be serious. Reese? What do you think you're doing? That's not a very nice thing to do to your own sister. Shut up! You're not my sister. My sister would never do something like this. Never! You promised me, Kevin. You promised me that you'd never do anything that would make Rufina sad. So what do you think you're doing now? How can you believe sacrificing yourself for everyone would make her happy? Reese, stop. Who are you to say it wouldn't? I might not be the real Rufina, but I'm very much a close copy of her. If Kevin wants to be punished, why wouldn't I give him his wish? Because that's not how Rufina was at all. She would never indulge something like that. Not in 1,000 years. Think back to when you first met Kevin. You'd given up on the world. Like you just wanted to disappear. But did she let that happen? No. She forced chocolate down your throat and dragged you right back to the real world. Even when you didn't want to. Whether you liked it or not. Well, this is a surprise. You've grown a lot more than I was expecting. If you're able to talk back to me. Stop talking to me as if you're my sister. You're not, and I won't stand for you defiling her any further. Well, if that's how you want to do things, perhaps I should invite you in Kevin's place. Me? No! The rest of you can stand by and watch. Ah! What? It's like the one that devil used. Reese! Stop this! She's got nothing to do with any of this! Oh, but she has. Consider this another part of your punishment. After all, if she suffers for all of eternity in your place, that's going to make your suffering all the more potent, isn't it? Please, go ahead and do your worst. Drop me wherever you like. I'll live. I'm never going to let Kevin be alone again. I will come back to him. Fitting words, my sweet sister. We shall see whether you can make good. Kevin? Okay, great. Hey, Reese, wake up. Kevin? Wow, it really is hell. You okay? Any pain? No, I'm okay, I think. But why are you? I fell through that crack alone. So why are you? You big dummy! Me? What were you thinking with all that taunting? Go ahead and do your worst. Drop me wherever you'll like, I'll live. Just how do you think you'll live? Oh right, you don't. But you're a squire. A rookie like you with no experience or proper judgment has no business making calls that put her own safety at risk. If you can't promise me to never do that again, then you and I are both not cut out to be part of the Gralsrenritter. That's probably what I should be saying anyway. But it'd be real rich coming from me. So I'll let you off the hook with a little bop there. Look around us. This is the 7th plane. It's just straight up hell. We're in Gehenna. Gehenna. Yep. It's just like the Testaments brought to life. And I'm the one responsible for bringing it all. Oh. After all, if there's one place that's possible, it's Phantasma. I don't know how Rufina came back, but she did. With both memories and personality intact. And now I have the good fortune of being punished by one of the people I wronged. I really couldn't think of a more fitting punishment for a bastard like me. Everything she said was dead on. More than anything, I wanted to be punished. I figured that by accepting that punishment, all of this would be done. Everyone else could go back to their lives. I thought I could be just like her, sacrificing my own life so everyone else could be saved. But that wouldn't make me like her at all. She might have given up her life to save yours. But that wasn't because she was happy to throw her life away to protect someone else's. It was because she saw literally no other option. With me unconscious, she didn't even have the choice to retreat. There was no way out of that situation without one of the three of us losing our lives. That's the only reason she chose to do what she did. Yeah. She was never the kind of person who would practice self-sacrifice as some kind of virtue. She'd only ever accept it as an option if all the others had been exhausted, and it was the only true way. Right, but this time, that's not the case. You're here, I'm here, all of our friends are here. Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to have access back to the Hermit's Garden so I can go do those other doors. Probably not till right before the final boss. Still standing here lamenting my own feelings isn't going to get us anywhere. So if you're up for walking, let's get ourselves out of here. Come again? What are you surprised for? You didn't think I was going to let you stay here and accept being punished for eternity, did you? Well, either that or stay here and wait for Rufina to show up again. Listen. I'm not going to deny there's part of me, a big part of me, that wants to be punished. Or that there's part of me that was overjoyed to see Rufina again, however it came to be. But I'm not alone down here. You're here, with me, and believe me, that changes everything. As long as you're here, I'm not staying in this hellhole a second longer than I have to. We're getting out of here, you and me, no matter what it takes. Right. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm in this one here.